have information that there is one person trapped on the 3rd floor of the west building, but we don't know the exact location. Find and rescue that person. There might be others who need help as well. You may be able to use the heating ducts to get around.
Do you copy? We found out the exact number of people trapped inside. There are 2 people trapped inside.
My throat.
Dean, do you copy? We found out the exact number of people trapped inside. There are 3 people trapped inside.
You're the best. Thank you.
The ceiling's gonna collapse! We found out the exact number of people trapped inside. There are 4 people trapped inside. The ceiling's gonna collapse! up, right here. Damn! Dangerous chemicals!